What's up guys, this is the Keychron K7 mechanical keyboard, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about why I think it's probably one of the best keyboards that you can find. There's probably a lot of other keyboards kind of like this. I got the brown keys, Keychron keys. The main reason I think this keyboard is better than any other keyboard that you can get is that it is a soft mechanical keyboard. I mean, I'm just going to let you listen to me type on it right now. The way you type with it, people have kind of said like it's like you're typing on clouds. There's a little bit more surface area on these keys compared to the Apple keyboard. I feel like the Apple keyboard is you're putting more force in, and after typing on something like this, you really notice the difference. And so I would just say it's just more uncomfortable to type on a keyboard that you have a lot more force on. Where I work, I have a Dell computer, I have a Dell keyboard. My keyboard at work, it's just so uncomfortable. It's painful to use after a while, and I really notice the strain after typing for more than an hour, or just like for sometimes just like 20-30 minutes. This keyboard I think is just so much better. It's a compact keyboard, first of all, which is really nice because your hand isn't way over here when you're doing any mousing. Everything is just really close together. Another thing I like about this keyboard is it's really versatile. So you can use it with a Windows computer, you can use it with a Mac, you just plug it in the back and you're ready to go. It's also wireless, so if you don't want to plug it in, you can just connect it wirelessly. I haven't had any issues with connecting. Some people say that like when you connect it to your Mac, like it takes a while to wake up. It hasn't been like a huge issue for me. I would say that it wakes up the computer relatively quickly. There are just a couple things I don't like about it. If you're coming from like an Apple computer, a lot of people do not want to switch keyboards because of Touch ID. I have a laptop like right next to my main monitor. So I have my laptop here and I have my main monitor here. And so I just use my finger to do Touch ID, and then I use this keyboard because I still, from time to time, I use the gestures on the trackpad. And so it's just nice to have a laptop next to my main desktop. So that's kind of my setup with this. I can still use Touch ID, and then it doesn't take me a long time to type in my password, so it's not really an issue. And then also you can connect your computer with like your Apple Watch, and so it will automatically unlock anyway. So to me, like Touch ID isn't that, I mean, it's nice, but it's not that great. So if you are concerned about that, those are just a couple ways to kind of get by without using Touch ID. Another reason that people love the Apple keyboard is it's just a really small profile. It has all the gestures and commands for the Mac. So it's really nice to just quickly to change the brightness and to change the volume. On this keyboard, you can do those same features, but you have to hit like the function button here and then hit the corresponding button to change like the brightness or to do the volume. It just takes a little bit longer. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But you can also just like use your mouse and go to the top of your screen and change the brightness or change the volume that way. It's just not as fast as you can do it with a Mac keyboard. And so that's the only reason why I would say stick with your Mac keyboard. I mean, I don't hate the Mac keyboard. I think it's a really good keyboard. I actually think it's one of the best compact keyboards you can get. I like the small profile. I like that it's really low. It has like a low profile. It's close to the desktop. And this one is much larger, as you can see if you look at it here. Like it's going to be like a little bit thicker than the Apple keyboard. If you want like a keyboard rest, like a wrist rest, you could get something underneath it or next to it. You would just want something like really thin as like an iPhone to rest your wrists on it, your palms on it. Or you could just get like a really large mouse pad for your desk. That's kind of what I use for my desk. So I haven't really had any issues with it. It doesn't really bother me. I don't feel like my wrist is too extended because that's the reason why you want a low profile keyboard. Let's talk about price with this keyboard. So right now, if you buy it on Amazon, it's like $60. Sometimes it's $100. I think I got it for about $50 on like a Black Friday deal earlier this year. And so yeah, it's not really that expensive of a keyboard if you compare it to like the Apple keyboard, which is like $120. Now, another thing to consider with this keyboard is it's a 65% keyboard. So if you notice, you're not gonna have like all your regular keys. And in fact, like the arrow keys, they go to here and there's nothing on that. I mean, it's just so small and compact. And I would say that this is in some ways smaller than the Apple keyboard. I want to say the Apple keyboard is a little bit longer this way. It's probably a little bit shorter. It does have extension if you want to. I don't use these. I would never recommend you using these. And then on the back here, so it says like it has a switch right here that goes back and forth for Windows or Mac. You just flip the switch, you're ready to go. Super easy to use. And then you have like, if you want to use Bluetooth, you click on Bluetooth, you switch it to the cable if you're using the cable, and then you charge this thing. And it hasn't run out of batteries. I got it in November and it's been like completely fine. It has a really nice backlight on it. So if you want a keyboard that has a backlight, this is like a great one to get. Now, maybe you're someone that doesn't have like any issues with your keyboard, like get one of these, try it out. It will make a huge difference. Now, let's compare this with a few other keyboards that I've tried out. I talk about in another video the Microsoft Sculpt. I reviewed also the Logitech Mechanical Mini. I think those are amazing, really good ergonomic keyboards, but I actually prefer this one over both of those. And the main reason is the Mechanical Mini, I would say, is the closest to the keyboard. The keys are incredibly soft, it's easy to use. I actually prefer Logitech software a little bit more. I mean, I would say in general that keyboard, it goes neck and neck with this keyboard. There's a few reasons I like that keyboard better than this one, and it's mainly just because of the software. And the other reason is you can use that keyboard for like multiple computers. Like if you're using your phone and you're typing on that, you could use it for that, and then you can just push one button and use it on your desktop. So you can use it like on a Mac, on a Windows computer, like on a phone, on an iPad. You can switch through multiple devices like really easily. As far as I know, you can't do that on this. You'd have to install some third-party software to be able to do something like that. Now, the Logitech Mechanical Mini is an awesome keyboard, but I like this one just a little bit better because it's a little like smaller profile and it's a lot cheaper too. The price, I would say this is gonna be like 3 times less than the Logitech. So overall, between this keyboard and the Mechanical Mini, I would say I would just go with this one because I just think it's a much better value. So I talk about the Microsoft Sculpt in another video, and I think it's a great keyboard. The problem with it is it's like a supinated keyboard, so you're in like a more neutral position rather than your hands like more pronated. I like it and I dislike it because when your hands are like supinated slightly or more in a neutral position, your wrists are also bent back a little bit more. And so that's the main reason that I didn't like that keyboard. Also, there's a giant wrist rest on it, and so it's like way higher off the ground than this one. Like it's just much more thick, and that's just more problematic. And then also the Microsoft Sculpt only works with like Windows computers. I mean, I use Mac computers. That's the main reason why I didn't get it. Also, like pretty much any keyboard you get from like a big company like Microsoft or Logitech, you can't plug them into your keyboard and just start typing. This one you can. You can plug it in and charge it, but it won't connect to your computer. You have to connect like wirelessly through Bluetooth. And sometimes that's problematic. Sometimes I just want to connect it to like straight into the computer and just use it as a keyboard because Bluetooth connection fails or just doesn't work. And then another issue with Apple's keyboard is you're using like their lightning ports, and this one has USB-C. I know it's all gonna change soon, but it's nice to just have a USB-C. It works with your phone, it works with your laptop, you use USB-C for everything now, so it's nice to just be able to use that with your keyboard as well. All right, so in conclusion, I would say this is your best value keyboard. I mean, if there's a second tier keyboard, I would say you can also look at the Logitech Mechanical Mini. I think that's a good keyboard too. I just prefer this one. It's just smaller, lower profile. It works fine for typing. It's gonna take some getting used to. If you are coming from another keyboard with like from a Mac or a Dell or a Microsoft or whatever, it's gonna take some getting used to because the buttons are so much softer, and you might not like that at first, but I would say give it a few weeks. You might not even like this keyboard layout. They make a little bit bigger compact keyboards. You can get a full-size keyboard for this. I don't recommend it, but if you are someone who needs that numeric keypad, I would say definitely go for it. And so I will put all those keyboards in the link in the description below if you're interested. And hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this kind of helped you have a better understanding of keyboards. For the most part, I think compact keyboards are just better for most people in general. And then having less force in your fingers is really gonna make a difference. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what questions you have about it. I will see you in the next one. Hope you have a great day.